Chef's kiss. Mwah.
I've been doing a lot of
Grazie. Mwah.
Grazie mille.
Ciao bella.
Ciao,
Mwah.
This isn't therapy. This is not therapy. This is not therapy. This is not therapy. This isn't therapy.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hi.
And welcome back to another fun,
Flirty
fabulous
episode
of This Isn't Therapy.
Ooh, that's new.
The podcast about all the stuff people are talking to their therapists about.
That's right.
My name is Jake Ernst, and I'm a therapist. Who are you?
I'm Simon Palick, and I'm not a therapist.
That's
but
right. That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. Safe space.
Listen, that's okay. Safe space.
We don't all have to be therapists, right?
No, exactly.
This podcast would be very different if we were both therapists.
I know. I don't think I'd like it as much.
No? You
But
don't
anyway,
like talking to therapists?
What do we do here?
Say it. Say it.
Each week.
Each week on this podcast, Jakey and I, we're just two friends who like to sit down and chit chat about some therapy themes. So we pull back the therapy curtain, we put on our grubby little paws, and then we reach into that therapy room. We pull out a theme, a question, a factoid, something that's floating around in the culture, and then we just have a casual Kelly couch conversation about it. Why?
Well, it's because therapy themes are everywhere you look.
That's right.
That's right. And this week, perhaps,
Yeah.
it's also important to state where we're looking.
What do you mean? Like
Well,
at each other?
Yeah, not just at each other. I mean, what topics, what themes, what factoids
Oh, I see.
we're going to discuss and discover.
Well, speaking of speaking.
Well, speaking of speaking, exactly. Well, this week we are going to talk about the default mode network. So for all the science nerds, we got you covered.
yes.
Covered.
Yeah, we have quite the niche following, the high plant.
Full coverage foundation.
I'm excited for you to chat about
Yeah,
this.
this is me kind of dipping into my science background. Exactly. And then
I love when you nerd out, so I'm
Thanks.
excited.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited.
resident nerd, but also really excited to nerd out for sure.
Yeah.
And then what else is the next? What's the next one?
The next segment is about emotional flatlining.
Yes.
Bracket seasonal.
Thank you for saying that.
You're so welcome.
Oh my gosh. It's about time we talked
Nothing
about
but
it.
truth on these lips.
It's about time we talked about it on this podcast.
Yes.
Specifically, flatlining.
Flatlining. Go.
Flat.
Doctor.
Flat. Exactly.
Yeah, so we know a lot about like seasonal depression disorder, or I don't know, do we?
I thought you were going to say we know a lot about flatlining.
We know a lot about flatlining. But
We're doing it now.
we have a lovely listener submission that sort of speaks about like the experience of emotional flatlining. And since we're still in like the beginning of the year,
See.
I
See.
think it like maybe the thread kind of is seasonal stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll get into it.
I
don't
guess
know.
you could call it that.
I guess it's not. So what I love is that segment 1 is going to be super sciencey, and segment 2 is just going to be conjecture. So
Oh, you know what we're really good at?
what?
Conjecture.
You know.
Exactly. Okay, so let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
We'll round back up here.
Yeah.
And we'll get sciencey.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Bye. Let's go. What do I need to do to prepare for this segment?
Listen, all
Do
you
I
need
need
to
like
do
a-
is sit back. Okay.
I'm
So
good
we
at that.
okay. So let's just really set the scene, okay? So we're talking about the default mode network, otherwise kind of known as the default network. The default network in our brain
Mhm.
is what happens when our brain is at rest. So this is like the resting brain. So whenever there's not constant input or stimulus into our brain,
Okay.
we have a state, right, that our brain defaults into. So that could be called kind of the wandering mind. Daydreaming is also part of this, just sort of like a rest and digest sort of phase. It is what happens when there's not a lot of cognitive input. So when there's not a lot of demand on our brain to pay attention to things or to be aware of our surroundings or to be like on alert even in times of stress,
Mm-hmm.
our brain shuts down a little bit.
Well, like a
Excuse-
computer.
Just exactly.
yeah, we
and
go
so-
on sleep mode.
Yeah, so exactly. Actually, that's a really good way to describe it.
Okay.
Oh, thank God you're here.
God,
Thank goodness you're here.
Jesus.
Oh,
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
seriously.
Thank God you're here.
And so, just like in sleep mode,
Yeah.
we want the default mode network in our brain to be switched on.
Mm.
So, every time we have too much going on in our lives, maybe we have a lot of like things in our surroundings, even like a screen in front of our face,
Mm.
the default mode network turns off because other brain regions turn on. And so, the default mode network in our brain, when we have trained it really, really well, that means that we can tolerate being bored. We are a lot better at meditation and unfocused tasks. We can rest a lot easier and we can like power down basically. It's kind of like low battery mode.
Mhm.
And in a lot of ways, it also helps us with daydreaming and social scenario playing. So basically kind of when we're self-reflecting or thinking about ourselves, it's that muscle that helps us build a stable sense of self.
Mm.
And it does that based on all the memories that we collect and all the social scenarios that we've experienced. So when the DMN or the default mode network is very underactive, that can lead to a lot of worrying and rumination if we don't have a lot of practice being in kind of silent reflection mode
Mm.
or in that rest sort of state. So
So this is not something that is like conscious. Like you're not like, oh, and now I'm gonna go like in a computer. This plant, man.
and now
It's-
I'm gonna power down.
Now I'm gonna power. Like you can't do that, right?
What do you mean? Do you mean
Like,
like
I can't be like, I'm gonna power down now.
well, it's not a switch. I mean,
Okay.
except you have one.
Except
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
one.
Yeah, yours is it's right at the back of your neck.
Yeah.
You just have to unzip the back and you just
And then it goes
the control panel's in there.
Yeah, and then I go.
And you go, okay, default mode network on. And
Yeah.
right. And then when I clap, when I do the clap,
Yeah.
then you come back awake.
100%. Yeah.
So I just have to switch.
People
it
don't
on.
know that.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
now they do.
No, but I love your analogy of sleep mode. So this is kind of like airplane mode, right?
Mm.
So we need to remember to turn that on,
Mm.
and we can do that in very specific ways.
Okay.
And I think in this like overstimulated time, this like kind of more stressful time that we're living in, where there's just a lot for us to pay attention to,
Mhm.
that means that our default network isn't being turned on enough. And so when it's not turned on enough, we have like poor sleeps, we have really fuzzy memories, we have really like brain fog and cognitive decline is happening because of this.
Right.
All this means is that our batteries are just running on low,
Right.
and we're kind of running on empty for far too long. And so we can turn on the default mode network. The best way to do this
Mm.
is by just simply being bored and tolerating being bored. So anytime the mind is wandering, whether that's you're staring out a window and just kind of like letting the mind kind of go a bit blank, right? It feels uncomfortable for a lot of people if you don't have a lot of practice with it.
Mhm.
Or if you're used to answering that message of boredom with, I need to grab my phone,
Right.
or I need to insert it with some sort of like sugary sweet or something that's going to kind of give me a hit of dopamine.
Right.
So anytime you disrupt that natural pathway,
Mm.
then the brain switches on to another network, right? Whether that's our dopamine system, our
Right.
serotonin system, our threat system, our stress system, all these other systems get turned on. And so
Mhm.
we want to be able to just sit and just be, right? So whether that's like laying in the grass and just like watching the clouds,
Mhm.
whether that's again staring out the window,
Mhm.
even just simply like eating a snack or closing your eyes, like to just have a little rest.
Yeah.
That is really good to not have constant input into our brain. It's funny. In my previous relationship, when I would come home from work after a long day of just receiving all this information, I would come home
Mhm.
and I would just like plop down and say, okay, I'm done receiving information right now. And looking back on it in an
Yeah.
interesting way, that is actually what I needed to turn the DMN, that default mode network in my
Right.
brain on so that I could actually just reset and rest.
And then come back.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are the
Yeah.
sort of short-term benefits of implementing the DMN?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then also, can you tell me what are the long-term side effects of ignoring
Ooh.
the DMN?
One of the biggest that I can think of, actually, there are two. The big one that I can really think about is inattention. So distractibility is
This
a
is
lot.
long-term
Yes.
side effects.
Yes,
Okay.
is a lot higher in the people who don't have practice turning on their default network.
Mm.
Another big one is memory. So not, let's say, memory loss, like in the sense of Alzheimer's,
Mhm.
although there are some documented cases of it being linked to cognitive impairment, but even just sort of fuzzy memories, right? So kind of missing out on names or misremembering people's faces or small details about social situations you've been in.
Mhm.
And so anytime, let's say you're traveling or you're just again constantly receiving all this information, that means that your DMN is not turning on. And so you need to have those moments of rest, especially when you're traveling, especially when you're out in the world experiencing or absorbing all this information out there. And so the challenge here is that we don't have to go so much far outside of our home to be receiving that kind of information, right? So this region of our brain it's the primitive part of our brain that's sort of like, it has to be able to turn on in the cave while it's recharging so it can go out and hunt the next day and receive all this information from other parts of our brain.
Right.
And so if we're constantly on the hunt and our brain is not in the cave kind of at rest, then it doesn't get recharged, right? It's kind of like plugging in your brain a little bit,
Right.
plugging your phone, but it works oppositely in the sense that like when it's on, you're at rest and you're
Yeah.
powering down. So it feels a bit backwards, but that is when its full effects take shape.
So are certain people have a predisposition to be really good at accessing? Like, should everyone practice it? Like, everyone should have the access to this?
Listen, y'all.
Or-
get yourself a bud that can just like pop off with the questions. This is Barbara Walters has entered the chat. Oprah Winfrey is sitting with me right now. I have these questions. Incredible.
Well,
Chef's kiss. Mwah.
I've been doing a lot of
Grazie. Mwah.
Grazie mille.
Ciao bella.
Ciao.
Mwah.
Amoganza.
Amaganza.
Amaganza.
I've been saying
Hey,
that.
forget about you. Come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Is that the same culture?
No.
Okay.
Well, technically,
we're shape-shifting live.
we're making our way down the boot.
Exactly.
We started in northern Italy. We made our way down to
Yeah.
Sicily.
Exactly.
So back to the question: is this something? I just sort of think of like the people in my life, right? And I know that there are people in my life that are really good at just kind of being still
Yeah.
and quiet
Yeah.
and like doing a nothing.
Hello, hi.
And then I have a lot of and then I have friends who have like a hard time being without their like some sort of stimulus, like a phone,
That's it.
right?
Yep.
So and then I have friends who are like, other example is like, I like sitting on a beach and just doing nothing, like a rod on a beach, right?
Wait, can we talk about this?
Yeah.
Someone recently asked me, would you rather go traveling or go on vacation? And I was like, baby, aren't those the same thing?
I mean, they can
And-
be both, right?
And yes, but they're exactly what you're saying. They're two different things.
yeah,
Going on vacation is like, I want to go kind of relax and kind of sit in the lounge chair.
yeah,
I want to soak up them rays.
yeah.
But if you're traveling, you're kind of like
go,
you're
go, go,
saying,
go, go, go,
you're
go.
go. You have an itinerary, you have
Yeah.
a plan, you have things to do.
But here's the thing: I enjoy both.
Same.
However, I also know how to enjoy both.
Yeah.
I know people who cannot sit on a beach.
Who? Name them.
No, no, I won't. 2026 is the year that I'm not messy. I'm good.
This is the year that you're going to Mel
Mhm.
Robbins let them?
Mhm.
This is
Mel
the year
Robbins
that
let them.
let them-
Listen,
let them
Atomic
travel.
Habits. I read it.
That's not the book.
I read it in a different book. The subtle art of not giving
A creaking heck.
Yeah, a freaking hack. The Christian version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the
The
god.
subtle art of
Yes.
giving a freaking hack.
Yeah. That's the godliest woman
Yeah.
version. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's a god honoring woman.
Clutching
The subtle
embers.
art of not giving a heck.
I'm not giving a heck.
No,
You don't say those
Not
words.
rooting a toot.
The devil's laughing.
Yeah.
The devil's laughing.
Honestly,
Um,
God fearing.
can you answer the question?
Yes.
Is everyone our predisposition? Do some people have a predisposition to be able to access it a little easier than others? And sub question, should everyone, regardless if you have sort of habits, you're nodding.
For those
we
watching
all
at
should
home,
be,
you know the answer.
regardless. Okay.
Yeah. The answer is yes. And that is kind of because our brains, just like fingerprints, have their own different makeup,
Mm.
right? And so some people are a little bit more neurospicy.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like in the neurodevelopmental categories.
Mhm.
Some of the brain regions are maybe just a bit more excitable, a bit more active.
Mhm.
And then on maybe, let's say, even in the mental health category, some of the depressive folks,
Mm.
they would lean a little bit more in the less excitable category.
Mm.
And so we're talking about the excitability of different brain regions. Specifically for this conversation, it's the default network.
Mm.
And so, yeah, some people, theirs turns on more, and some people's theirs turns on less, right? So think about people with ADHD, and that is largely genetic ADHD, and in a lot of ways can also be influenced by our environment. And so, yeah, when people who have ADHD are trying to turn on their default mode network, which is to maybe just sit with a single thought or to just be still and rest, that might be a bit more challenging. So the answer is yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then, but we, regardless of the predispositions and stuff, there is nothing but benefit of learning and practicing and building that muscle of accessing that
Listen,
the
let
EDM,
let
the DMV,
the DM.
No, what is that? The BMX?
Yeah, exactly.
What is it called?
Yeah, exactly.
the OWN.
Yes, exactly.
The Oprah Winfrey Network.
Keep going. Oh no,
Yeah.
I followed.
The BBQ?
Yeah, exactly. The BBC.
The LOL.
Yeah, the CBC, the
Yeah,
BBC,
yeah.
the PBS, the
Yeah, yeah.
CNN.
Yeah.
And
The CRA.
yeah, exactly. The IRS.
Yeah.
For those playing in the US.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in any case, the answer is yes. Each of our fingerprints are different
Mm.
because our brains are all different,
Mhm.
which means that yes, there's the benefit regardless of the size or the shape of your fingerprint. And so we all need to be turning on that as much as possible. Again, the best way to just do that,
Mhm.
take the phone out from in front of your face and just rest, not have constant information streaming at like a water hose level of or
Right.
fire hose. What's more powerful?
Fire?
A fire hose.
Probably a fire hose.
for $600. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, what is a fire hose?
I mean, technically, you could argue that a fire hose is a water hose, but
that you know what?
depending what part of the boot you're on, right?
Exactly,
In Sicily,
and-
we call it the water hose.
Yeah.
In Northern Italy, we say the fire hose.
Depending on how technical you are, they're
Yeah.
both the same thing. Tomato, tomato.
Tomato, potato, forget about it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Look, I'm
So,
speaking Italian right now.
moral of the story.
Anyways.
Get your butt on a couch, baby, and rest.
Yeah.
This is good for you. There is a lot of, busy culture happening right now. And I'm like, sit down, Mary.
Sit down,
Sit
Mary.
down.
Okay.
Stop moving and sit down.
Before we move
please.
on, speaking of the
Yeah.
opposite of what you just said,
Yeah.
before moving on to the
Before
next
we
segment,
move.
what is something that you do in like a very easy, everyday type of way that helps you access the BMX?
Okay, so actually, this is something I've done rather recently,
Mm.
let's say in the past year, but I actually have on my phone a default setting where no notifications can be received by me, mademoiselle.
What do you mean? Like when you text yourself?
Sorry, I don't mean sent to myself from myself. I mean, like on my phone, I have what is called nap time on my phone.
Yeah.
And so it just goes into sleep mode where no notifications come in.
Okay.
And so I do that for an hour every single day from 1 to 2 p.m. is when I have my phone nap setting
Okay,
scheduled.
but you're not actually napping.
No, my phone is though. And so in that moment, I'm not actually taking in any notifications. So I know that from 1 to 2 p.m., I'm not using my phone. And so
Oh,
that's
I like
just,
that.
that's something that helps me
Mm.
every single day take a period of maybe I'm doing actual work and I need to focus, or
Mhm.
maybe it's rest time. And so I kind of need to not have constant people asking me for things.
Mhm.
So every day from 1 to 2 is my scheduled break.
Mhm. I'm going to make sure to call you now at 12:58.
It won't go through.
No, at
Oh,
12:58.
thank you so much.
Just so that I, have
Just
a
so
few
you can
minutes.
blow past the,
Yeah, just so I
the
can.
paywall.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then I can be on the other side, be like, it's 107, and yet I've got here's some more stuff
Huh, interesting. He's receiving
Interesting.
information at 107. Anyway, that's
for those playing at home.
that's the tea.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break.
Yes, we are.
And then we're gonna come on right the heck back.
And we're gonna talk some more about some other stuff.
I
This
love
is what we do
talking
on this
about
podcast.
Other stuff. Yeah. Okay. Therapy.
Flatlining.
Flat.
Yeah.
Okay, take us to it. Get us there, honey.
Okay, so basically, let me tell you a story. And
Okay.
it's not my story. It's a lovely listener story. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was trying to be like, okay, what's relevant? What's in the culture? Blah, 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 blah. And then I think like every time around this year, like seasonal, just because in Canada, Toronto specifically, where we are, state the address. So people, can
yeah.
come. 1
P. Sherman, 42
to
Wally,
Walterley Way, Sydney.
Thank you.
It's like the sun sets at like 4:30. It's dark, it's cold, it's all of these things. So I'm always trying to be like, okay, well, like I think we kind of like are aware of seasonal mood disorders and stuff, But there was something that a lovely listener had submitted in this story that I was like, oh, that's kind of like a more, this feels like another like subcategory to that. And I kind of just wanted to have a conversation about it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Take us there.
And it's about emotional flatlining. Because I was like, what is that? And it goes like this. The beginnings of the new year always hits me in this oddly muted way. Not sadness, not despair, but like someone turned the saturation down on everything I feel. It's strange because nothing is wrong. My job is fine. My relationships are steady. I'm healthy. But every year, right after the holidays fade and the decorations come down, I slip into the emotional neutral gear. It's like my mind is idling. I'm not unhappy, but I'm not exactly living in Technicolor either. What's going on?
okay. So
What's going on?
Okay. So
Ah!
I swear I did not plan this. I did not select default mode network to go with this story because
I did.
the lovely listeners will know that we've been tackling 2 different topics each
We
week.
did.
However,
Wait, these are
for the first time in
why?
This Isn't Therapy history,
They're related?
these are related. Yeah. This is a scenario where
No, they're not.
this is a
Are they
scenario.
actually?
Yes.
I'm not going to let you speak.
This is a scenario.
Let her speak. Go.
This is a scenario.
Okay,
We have a scenario
Yeah.
on our hands.
Ah!
It's a scenario. This is a scenario where I think what's happening can really be explained by the default mode network turning on. And that might be a bit uncomfortable for Sister Mary.
Okay.
That
say
might be
more.
That might be a bit challenging, right? Because when that airplane mode is flipped on
Right.
and your body is returning to what is its resting state, for some people, and this is going to sound a bit backwards and a bit confusing, so we'll kind of go slow.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes for people, slowing down and resting is stressful. Have you heard of this phenomenon? You must have.
Yes.
Yeah. So it shows up a lot in people who avoid taking vacation at work or holidays at work because they know the 1 week away from work is going to be more stressful than the week at work. So we see people in practice not taking vacation days because of it.
Right.
Or let's say it's the parent who really just busies themselves on the weekend when they're not working. So they just pack their weekends full of things. It's kind of the friend who just always has something going on. So maybe they're really overscheduled or they always have a hobby going on. That might also be explained by the fact that when we slow down, our stress and all those types of hormones, they also do a number on us. And so that's also what explains the immune system reaction to that too,
just
right?
gonna
So
say-
when we slow down, we get sick.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that used to happen to me all the time. Like after I'm finished like a really big project, I'm always like, oh, I hope I don't get sick. I hope I don't get sick. And then I finish it and we wrap, and then you wrap out, you load out, and then like a week and a half later, when I'm like, okay, cool, all right, and then I get sick.
Can I reframe that? You said, I hope I don't get sick, but that's
Yeah.
actually your body, your immune system repairing all the toxic stress chemistry that was happening in your body
Right.
that you were ignoring,
Yeah.
right? And so when you slow down, sometimes the cost of slowing down, or let's say the speed bump, the hurdle into slowing down, is that, there's a repair process that needs to happen. And so just like this lovely listener is saying, this is nothing to be alarmed about. This isn't at all anything clinical. It's not anything diagnosable. Slowing down for some people can bring on some stress hormones and can be uncomfortable for people, especially for the people who are used to kind of having that constant input or something, to do all the time.
Right.
And so this is the case for number one, slowing down, especially during a period where culturally we should be resting. We should be spending time together with our families and friends, and we should be taking a load off, right? But I think a lot of people also grew up in generations where they have been made to feel guilty for slowing down, or they don't feel productive if they're taking a break, or if they feel like they're not busying themselves with, let's say, work or plans or something to do. They have to be with themselves and they have to sit with themselves. But sitting with ourselves, especially during moments where culturally the world is slowing down, that is a really good thing. We want to be able to embrace that opportunity to slow down because you can't really speed up if you don't have those moments to slow down. You can't really run on high all the time. That's inhuman. No one can do that.
Right.
And so this is why this part of our brain, the DMN, is what helps us slow down. And it turns on to activate, and then it helps us rest.
So does it ever, in the case of this lovely listener, it's not like they're actively, or maybe they are, because maybe the stimulus of the holidays is kind of behind us, right? We're
Yeah.
at top of the year, but like, a month
Yeah.
from all of those festivities,
Yeah.
right? Is it just because there isn't sort of like everyone's not busying themselves with like the over busyness of the holiday season, then now automatically, because she doesn't have all of those things that like put her in that like super mobilized mode, she now doesn't have those things. So now she's just kind of like, I don't know if it's a she actually. I'm assuming it's a she. She's a she in my mind.
Aren't we all?
Are we all?
Aren't we always?
But do we know, like this lovely listener seems a little like, what's going on, as if they didn't know that they had gone into this resting mode.
A little
Does
bit.
that happen?
Yeah, a little bit. I kind of read it maybe the same way you did, which is
Mm.
a little bit like, should I hit the panic button or not? Like, should I be worried about this?
Like, is something up? Like, no, job's okay. No, friends are okay. No, I'm healthy. You know?
Everything's all good.
Everything's all good.
Everything's all good. But
Yeah.
why do I feel this sort of like blasé?
Yeah.
And I think that was sort of described by when she was talking about
It's a she.
when her was talking about the
Mhm.
saturation, feeling like it's being turned down.
Mm-hmm.
And of course it feels that way if you live your life in Technicolor all the time. I think if we're constantly pursuing rewards in the form of, let's say, dopamine or all these like really pleasurable things, or kind of constantly chasing the next thing, or we're not really being present, then yeah, it does feel that way. That is the
Mhm.
right reaction. That is what will happen when you take away maybe the constant buzz or the stimulus
Mm.
that you're used to.
Talk about the term emotional flatlining. Like, is that like a thing, or is this a new pop?
It's not something I've heard.
Okay.
Emotional flatlining. I want to be cautious of this term
Okay.
because flatlining, obviously borrowed from like medical terminology,
Yeah.
it seems like it might be trying to legitimize this blunted, maybe more subdued emotional state.
Mm.
And so, yes, because our emotions are on a spectrum, this might just be a normal human experience that we're just giving a name to.
Mm.
I remember during the pandemic, Adam Grant, who's organizational psychologist,
Oh yeah. I saw Adam
at dinner. Yeah.
at dinner.
Yeah.
2 nights ago.
3.
3 nights
It
ago.
was 3.
Oh my
You
god,
texted
the
me.
Bouffe Bourguignon.
Yeah.
Adam knows how to make it.
You texted me.
It was so good. Yeah, well, I sent you all the photos. It was
Yeah.
like, why aren't you here?
Yeah. So you saw him.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was the one that introduced the term languishing to us during the pandemic.
Languishing.
Languishing.
Okay.
Remember, we did an
We
episode
did
on
an
this.
episode about that.
We did an episode on this probably like 4 years ago.
Oh wait, I swear.
Hello, hi. Hello, hi.
Wait, we've been doing that. We've been doing this podcast for 4 years.
6 now.
No,
This is January 2026, baby.
not 6 years. We started in 2020.
We started in 2020, Mary. Yeah. This has been a long time coming. And there are long time listeners here.
Wow.
So thank you to our 6-year-old baby that we
Aw.
birthed together.
Six is a good age.
It's a great age.
That's a good age.
Anyway, I'm just saying this might be another one of those situations where we're inventing words,
Mm,
or it could be a new term, just like the one Adam Grant was introducing, like languishing.
interesting.
Emotional flatlining. Haven't heard of it.
Mhm.
Can't really say if it's legit or not.
Haven't heard of it. Don't care.
Don't know her.
Beautiful gowns.
I'm like Mariah Carey. Don't know her.
Beautiful gowns.
Exactly.
All
All right.
okay,
well,
wait.
let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap her up.
Okay.
Let's just go to the final segment.
Let's go to the final segment. I feel like we know how these are connected, and we don't necessarily need to.
No, I want you to say it anyways. Right. Let's play this game.
Okay.
How are these connected?
Well, listen. Like when our life is amazing,
Mhm.
we feel amazing, and when
Mhm.
life is really crappy, we feel really crappy. That is how the brain and the body work all the time. But for all those kind of in between states, we need different brain regions to help us navigate our environment, or to turn on or turn off, to help us feel good, or to feel neutral, or to help heal us, right, when we're not feeling so great.
Mm.
And so we need these brain regions to be functional, meaning that they have to be able to turn on and turn off when they need to in order to help us navigate it, right? And so if we're constantly with the DMN, the default mode network, off, then we're going to be in a state of not having that muscle, not having that flexibility to have it turned on when we need to,
Mhm.
which is that like when we need to rest or when we need to slow down or even self-reflect, there's a really big part of the default mode network we didn't talk about, which is self-reflection
Mhm.
and its ability to help us clarify ourselves, right? From social memory or from all of our life's experiences. All that is to say is that, again, when life is really dull, it's not necessarily a bad thing. That might
Mhm.
just be your default mode network turning on.
which is very healthy.
Very healthy.
And we need it,
Good
especially
stuff.
after a period of high stimulation,
That's it.
right?
Okay.
We sure solved that.
Well, we'll see you in the final segment.
Final
sis.
segment.
Yeah.
Okay.
BRB. Listen, coming on back. Okay.
Okay, Sister Mary.
You've asked for it.
And we're giving it to
We're
you.
gonna give it to you, baby.
At the end of every single episode of this podcast, we like to leave off with a little bit of levity. We kind of sometimes we go splunking into the brain.
Yeah.
We need to resurface,
We need to come up
take a deep breath.
and rejoice.
Thank you, Sister Mary.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. And so, again, as I was saying at the end of every episode, we like to introduce this little segment, which is where you just get to ask us a question. You put it into our box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Yeah.
You go to the link in our bio. That's where you find the box.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
put a question into it, and then we just ask, or sorry, we answer it actually, just like any kind of friend would.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
as if I'm some kind of therapist.
Because
or
you're
something.
not. Not right now.
Not right now.
Not,
exactly.
not for the next 3 minutes and 34
so,
seconds.
without further ado,
And without further ado,
this is Asking
Asking
for a Friend. Cue the music. Okay, can I?
you can.
Can I?
Yes, you may.
Mother, may I?
You shall.
Okay,
Sister
so
Marie.
So the person who put a question in the box
Mm-hmm.
today would like to know. So hypothetically, if someone's resting, is it wait? Suddenly, I can't read. So hypothetically, if someone's resting is actually just doom scrolling horizontally, is that self-care or self-sabotage? Okay, number one, great question.
Great question.
Thanks for pulling it out of the box.
Yeah, good curation for this episode.
Yeah.
Everything spoke to each other.
Great editor.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is what do you think?
You're gonna be like, no.
If you're sitting horizontally doom scrolling, is
I
that
don't.
self-care or is that self-sabotage?
I
love
don't
this question.
believe it is.
Such a good question.
In my opinion.
No, it's saying what is it?
No.
It's saying is it self-care or self-sabotage? You said I don't believe it is. No, I
But
don't think it is.
self-sabotage sounds like crazy. I just feel like not. Maybe it's not
Whoa.
self-sabotage.
Using
I'm just
this-
like
using the C word on the pod. Holy.
Are you not allowed to say crazy? We're not allowed to say crazy now.
According to who?
Oh, I don't know.
I just said you're saying it.
Okay, I'm saying it. I'm saying it. Come
You're-
for me.
and
No,
you're-
I don't know.
yeah, and you're
don't
gonna-
come for me. I don't care.
And you're gonna own it.
No, I'm gonna own it. Yeah, I'm creating merch. It just says crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
It's the baby one.
Quasma.
with the W.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Quazy.
It's crazy.
It's QOI.
Yeah, it's crazy.
ZZY. Crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so let's like once and for all.
Okay, so
We need to finally answer
it's
this.
self-care or self-sabotage.
Yeah.
I don't think it's healthy for you, so I'm gonna probably put it in the self-sabotage bucket because I don't know. Is it? But I feel like from what we learned today, right? And because I was here learning things today,
We learned a thing or two.
it sounds like the horizontal doom scrolling, like just kind of tech time of it all, is not actually turning on sleep mode for your brain.
You know what I
You're
hope
still
we,
stimulating.
You know what I hope we do in 2026?
What?
I'm going to do this to camera.
Yeah.
In 2026, I
Ooh.
really hope that we don't take this one brush
Mhm.
and make these really broad stroke statements on the internet. But you know we're going to. You know
Because
that
we just did it right
because
now.
we will and we'll do it again.
Crazy.
But what I hope that we do in 2026 is
Yeah.
that we get to have some nuance here.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is that
Okay,
when-
so have some nuance.
I'm this wasn't a response to you.
Oh,
So
it sounds like it.
I'm
It feels really pointed because I said something and then you went into this little soapboxy preacher moment.
because I think that people will listen to this podcast, will restate the same thing that you just restated, which is
what?
I hope that it's not this black and white takeaway of doom scrolling on the couch horizontally is bad.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to choose between is it self-care or is it self-sabotage. I think we can have some nuance, which is that sometimes it's self-care and sometimes I need to just kind of rest and zone out.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's sabotage because you're avoiding your responsibilities,
Mhm.
you're being a mess, you're being unclean, and you need to get it together.
Yeah.
I think we can hold both. I think both can be true. because I said on this pod that like if you're not turning on your DMN,
Yeah.
people are going to take that and be like, "Oh my gosh, now I have something new to feel guilty about."
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm not slowing down the right way,
wasn't that your mission?
if I'm not slowing down the right way, then I'm
Yeah.
a piece of crap.
Yeah. But isn't that why we have this podcast?
It is what I set out to do. Yeah,
it is.
Public shaming is incredibly.
Honestly, it's a
important.
cornerstone to your practice.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're finally admitting it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's sarcasm. Obviously, that should be obvious.
Isn't this crazy?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
No, seriously.
This like weird, like,
We're
what are
in-
we allowed to? I don't know.
Can we call it something?
What?
Just because we're doing that
Crazy.
too. What is this? What is this era to you where this type of a question lands in our inbox and then we sift and sort through the pros and,
And we're
cons
just like,
of-
what do we say?
Well, it just feels like for me sometimes it feels like we're speaking another language. Like it just feels like it's a language I don't know yet, and it feels this like weird pressure to like have the right answer and only do it one right way,
Mhm.
and this weird like sense that you have to kind of get it right every single time at every
Yeah.
single moment. That every moment is like make it or break it decision making time.
Yeah, I think I bump up against like the permanence of
Yeah.
like sometimes because this like exists on the internet, it'll
Yes.
exist forever and ever. Like, what if in 4 years, like someone like digs through this and is like, "You said that thing," and I'd be like, I don't know, like maybe
you're like-
context is important, but like
You know what? I did say
probably,
that.
you know,
I
because we're
did
growing
say
and
that.
changing.
I think so
But-
too. I also think there's a lot of pressure to, again, just like be these perfect people all the time, especially on the internet. Why do we feel so entitled to like be on the lookout for exact replicas of ourselves or our beliefs? And then anytime there's a bit of a diversion or a different way of doing something, or even someone having a different personality style than you, and maybe you wouldn't be friends with them, it's sort of like, okay, well then keep it pushing.
Keep it pushing, Mary. That's our theme of 2020. That is our
Yes.
That is our thread for this year.
That is
keep it
our
pushing, Mary.
Energy.
Listen, if this is not for you, just keep it pushing, Mary. We don't need your comment. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care, Mary. Mary, just keep it pushing. Sister Mary, she can stay. Sister Mary, she can stay.
That's
All
my
the
bud.
others, you can go.
That's my bud.
Yeah.
And speaking of,
Yeah.
I think that we do have to wrap up.
Did we answer the question? I don't even know.
We gave
Maybe
our,
we did.
We give our opinions of it.
All right. Close enough. I don't care.
We'll let the lovely.
I don't care.
Listen, if you
That's crazy.
if you like what you heard, and if you didn't like what you heard, I think the message is very clear.
Keep it pushing.
If we didn't answer the question, then submit another one.
Yeah. Or submit it again.
Yeah,
And we'll try again.
Exactly.
We'll try again next time.
Okay.
All right. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias because we're there. And if you're not already doing it, please go to youtube.com and watch this video in Technicolor. Don't just listen to it, watch it, because then you get to see my Highland cow sweater that I'm wearing.
Go look.
Go look at my Highland cow sweater. It's a Highland cow sweater.
I want it. I want to take it. I'm gonna steal it.
Not allowed.
And we'll see you next
And
week.
we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
This isn't therapy.
I'm like big honey ham. I'm just checking myself in frame.
It's just wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.